and it was taken care of, and it's done. And so I'm like, okay, cool. And so I quit writing. But yeah, it's like I was writing my life stories then and had it, I had a lot of it written, and who knows what happened to that. But I ended up writing my life story later on and publishing it. So there you
I
go.
love that. I totally resonate with that because it's just like I was saying, like I wrote the timeline and then I even wrote like the first 2 pages of the autobiography
Yeah.
and then like you're saying, it's like the project that never got completed and then you just kind of put it down for a while and came back to it. And that's something you can definitely do. You've proven that it worked for you. And I think something important to take away from this for everyone who's viewing is to take that inventory
Yeah.
of your life to find out, what you've been through and where that pain is and what it is that you've gone through that you need to really focus on to heal and go forward. You don't have to write an autobiography, but just take stock
Yeah.
and realize like what made you the person that you are today and are you happy with that person or not, and then what changes can you make going forward.
Yeah, definitely. And that's one thing that I think it's all about. Or, one of the strong pieces of the foundation of life is, are you happy with it? Are you happy with who you are? Are you happy with, you know, the direction your life's going? Are you happy with what you're doing? Are you happy with your job? Are you happy with, your home? Are you happy with the people in your life? Essentially, are you happy? And if not, change that. Do the work. You know,
Yeah.
you can't wait for someone else to come save you. You gotta find out what's happy, what causes your happiness, and go for that.
You show up for you. Yeah.
Yeah,
Dive into your
exactly.
passions. Figure out who you are and build off your passions. Start a business. Make money doing things you love to do. Create your destiny. Live your dreams. It's all possible. You just have to jump in the driver's seat
Yeah. Well,
and get
it's
support.
yeah, exactly. Well, it's like I've said this before on here, and it's like people know, but my my job, that I, what I do to pay the bills. I wash dishes at a local restaurant, uh, and except this past week, due to the COVID situation and businesses being slow, our restaurant's sort of slow. I'm laid off right now, and it's like, so I'm got to wait until this lockdown's over or business picks back up or one of those. And so I'm looking into, okay, I'm not going to be happy if my bills aren't paid, so I got to look for, other ways to, pay my bills. What's going to
Hmm.
make me happy? And essentially what you're saying there, what we were talking about. What can you do to to be happy? So far as starting a business or doing whatever, you know.
Yeah. I think entrepreneurship is so important. It's something that kind of runs in my family and that I've always been passionate about. I remember when I was in school, I actually dropped out in grade 10 because I moved out to the city on my own. I got an apartment, I started working full time, and then I finished in correspondence. But up until then, I was in doing all my studies in preparation for university because I wanted to be a pediatrician. I wanted to go to school, go to university, and become a doctor. And something kind of happened around age, 14, 15, where I had already got my story published, and there was something about like the whole school system that just didn't feel like the right path for me. I felt like I needed to have my own experiences and make my own decisions. I didn't like being told I needed to be here at a certain time, and this was how cookie cutter my life was going to be. And I ended up, yeah, leaving and learning how I just kind of dove into all these different things about becoming an entrepreneur because I was like, do I really want to be a doctor? Because had the realization that when I'm older and I want to have a family, like what if they call me in for an emergency on Christmas morning? Or what if I don't have time to spend with my family? And I think that was the big thing. I was like, I want to have the freedom to make my own hours and have time for my family, because when I'm older, I want to be able to have a family. And I think that's something that a lot of women especially struggle with these days, because they're choosing these careers over having families, especially with nowadays needing to have a dual income to support families comfortably. Women need to be working. And I think if that's the system that we're going to work in, then entrepreneurship is 100% the answer, because there's no limit to when you're working, or how much money you're going to make, and you can work remotely, and you can't have that taken away from you either. Like what's happening in this pandemic. You're not going to have that. Am I going to go into work tomorrow and they're going to tell me I don't have a job? You know, so it's like taking control of your life in a business sense as well. I think that's so important, especially in today's world with today's money.
Yeah.
And pandemic, unfortunately.
Yeah, definitely. Just it's like, yeah, instead of having the controls, someone else having the controls over here, and you have to, follow what the program that they put into the controls. It's essentially putting controls in front of yourself, so that you're actually guiding your own path. Yeah, and taking responsibility.
Yeah, we shouldn't have to sacrifice. We shouldn't have to say, well, I don't think I can have more than one child, or I don't think I can have a family because I need to, do this and that in order to make enough money, or sacrificing, getting your job taken away from you completely or getting laid off. I don't think that's necessary if we can learn how to work for ourselves, which they don't teach in today's education system. They don't teach you that. They don't teach you entrepreneurship, but
yeah,
there's ways to learn about it.
Definitely. Yeah, and there's another quote. One of your posts on Instagram has a quote of yours. You say, "Your best is enough, and you are the only one who knows if you are giving it in each moment of every day. So are you proud of yourself and pushing through, or disappointed and breeding insecurity because you know you can do better?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that resonate with you?
Yeah, that's just so powerful. Because
it is in every moment, because, I had this realization too in a fitness accountability group that I was in over the last 8 weeks. And the coaches were like, okay, I want to hear from everyone what your biggest takeaway from this, the biggest thing that you progressed in or learned out of this. And I was the first to comment, and I was like, what have I not progressed in? What did I not learn? And I was like, I think the biggest takeaway for me from this was not beating myself up on days that I couldn't give 100%, and knowing that my best is enough and being okay with that, because there would be days where, I couldn't get my check-in in on time. And in my mind, I'd be like, oh, like I'd feel terrible about it. And then I'd procrastinate it even more or whatever. And, the whole lesson out of that was just to not beat yourself up, because my circumstances every day are my own. And I know if I'm giving my very best. It might not look like 100% to the person who I think is expecting 100%, or what that would look like, but I know that it's 100% of what I could give in that moment. And that's what you need to learn is enough, because you know that. I was like, oh, I don't need to feel bad because, my coach wanted this from me yesterday. I should feel amazing because I gave it to her a day late and I did it, and I'm in this for the long run, and I'm never giving up because I'm someone who will stop at nothing. And I know that that's the kind of person I am because I know what I've been through, and I know that I've always persevered. So if you have that kind of mindset for yourself, you know that your best is enough. It doesn't have to be 100% of the time, or you're just going to disappoint yourself. So just give all that you can in every moment. And you're the only one who can make that call for yourself. Nobody else knows if you're giving 50% or 100% of what you have right now.
Yeah.
And make the choice to do your best, because as soon as you don't, you're the only one that's going to be like, wow, I let myself down today. But then just keep picking yourself back up and persevere.
Right on, right on. Well, and that's an excellent note to end on. I was just looking, and it's about that time to be wrapping up, so we can get ready for the next show here at the station. But I just wanted to thank you so very, very much for being on my show. And something I realized during the show, we will have to do this again sometime so I can actually record it and have it on my Facebook Live. I messed up and it's not, so. But yeah, spreading positive energy, that's what it's all about, so it's a good thing.
Thank you, Shane, so much. I'm so honored to be on your show today. This is incredible. Thank you so much, and I would love to do this again anytime.
Yeah, definitely. And just before we go, I was wondering if you could give tell our viewers and listeners how they can get a hold of you if they want to.
Absolutely. You can follow me on Instagram. My handle is Erin_Carthew. And you can also find me on Facebook, Erin Carthew. And maybe you can write these on the video, tag them on the video.
Actually, I was just going to say, actually, it's not going to be on this Zoom call. It's going to the station, and then I don't know if I can actually save the video, but because I think it goes there and then it's gone.
Okay, I think Zooms are automatically recorded. I'll check mine.
Okay.
Check yours for sure.
Okay, maybe they are. I'm not sure. I'm not sure all the ins and outs and all the details of that. So.
Okay, well, we'll look into it. No problem. But yeah, so Instagram and Facebook, and then my email is erin.carthew@gmail.com. So ERIN.CARTHEW. So.
Okay, right on. And yeah, once again, thank you very, very much for being on my show, and helping me to spread positivity and gratitude and make it louder in the world.
All right, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much, and you have a phenomenal day, and I'll talk to you later.
You too.